Okay, recap for Wednesday 22/10/2025, right? So again, it's just a follow-up recap to the last recap I've done. I'll keep it quick and simple. Like I said on Monday, that I really would not like to trade this market until we get to these lows, right? How are we gonna get to them? I said I don't know. So on Wednesday morning here, when I checked the price and he was doing this, it was literally 50-50 as if we're gonna go up or if we're gonna go down. But I was leaning more bearish, right? However, I can't frame a bearish setup. So that's why I took my gold trade, right? Basically hitting the top of it, right? Basically top taking it at that point. And I do explain the gold trade. It's pretty good for a first gold trade. Anyway, so this is what happens with NQ and ES. They're both definitely making the highs, right? And there's obvious liquidity that I'm talking about is here, right? So I did say from like this whole run up when it went one up, it's just fake to me, and I do not trust it as something to head for this all-time high, right? I'm currently not looking lower currently, but I'm still looking at these lows to be tagged for this daily wick to be your supporting price to go higher, right? So like the CE of it right there. The CE. There we go. So that is where the low of whatever I'd expect, and I'd expect this to come push back all the way up, right? I'm the one that loves shorting, like I said, right? And I know all the shorts, right? That's why this was my best week, right? Because it offered one, two, three, four shorting opportunities, right? And every short, and even this short, every short I catch the short, right? But as you can see, what's different to these shorts is how improbable it is, right? Compared to these ones. Look, every one of these has taken the full-on liquidity. Taking the full-on liquidity. This this made sense for it because it has its own like lower time frame structure, has taken its own liquidity, right? This hasn't. So I know it's going lower, but I'm never gonna be able to comfortably risk that. Unlike my gold trade, right? Unlike my gold trade, it took all the liquidity, went up, and I just top ticked it up there, right? So that's different because I can fully frame it with confidence. See, I did say at the start of the week, these lows are gonna come through, and then the second that we went down today, I know that's what's gonna happen. The second that we displace through this, right? This fair value gap is important. We displace through this. It tells us the whole narrative. Our model's here to buy just to get the 750, right? Again, probably, yep, here to buy as well to get the 750. And you can see price goes up and goes to like the midpoint of the daily fair value gap, right? And then there's the wick and stuff, right? So there's a couple of PD arrays, but you see where it's stopping, right? And I think that's the lower quadrant of the daily fair value gap. So I still expect, right? If my analysis is correct, then this ain't the low, and I still expect lower prices till here or here, right? To get these lows. So like if we look at a regular trading hour, like these lows are still too smooth for me, right? And from there, it's up to just gauging what price does, right? However, I can be wrong, right? I can be wrong. I'm not trying to marry with the idea. However, it's good that I know when to trade and when not to trade, because I just know these conditions are not it for me to trade. And the fact that we are in this current range have still not hit discount, right? I mean, yeah, it's still not like if we're gonna go up there again, we're gonna attempt it. I'd like us to hit discount of the full range, right? So, and that comes as the big thing again, like my model, discount liquidity PD array. I know it looks improbable, but hey, this is my model. It works, so I'm just gonna trust it. Okay, and after that, what makes this like probable is because remember we have CPI and flash PMI or whatever, right? On Friday, which makes sense if the market can move this much without news. Imagine that it can move the same with news. No, it makes logical sense. So I'm never gonna say never, right, to whatever happens. However, I'm still staying with the same bias that I am not likely gonna trade until we hit these lows, right? Or if it's very obvious to short to these lows, then I'll take it. Unlike today, right? I'm gonna show why it's improbable. So first thing is we dump down 930. That's not what I want to see, right? If I was gonna even entertain the idea of shorts, and I knew I was not gonna trade this day just based on how London looked. Look at this, trading these relative equal highs. This was rejection block. That's why I just traded gold. I would want us to at least hit these highs here, right? Open, hit these highs or something before taking this low. So we can offer the new daily opening gap, which is our like true day open, and offer the midnight open. So we can get like that power of three kind of, right? Not here, here. Actual New York should do it, okay? Taking these highs, that'd be perfect. I'm pretty sure we do have some sort of SMT on this high, but hey, I would have liked a deeper discount. That's what I'd say. Second, yeah, it started going down. Here, it could be 50-50 that it could go up to any liquidity that it wants, right? I wouldn't expect this high now, but expect at least this, right? So maybe then hitting this gap, then trying to break lower makes sense. Okay, that after it went down here, okay, there's the first presented fair value gap entry. That could be it. That could be a short, right? However, I wouldn't trust it again, right? Because I just wouldn't trust it. Like the structure ain't built for shorts, right? As you can see, once we go down, we retrace much higher than anybody would expect, and then go down, and then we trace much higher than anybody would expect, and then again and again, right? We do the same thing, boom, 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 right? Is that something you want to be in? Like this looks like longs to me, right? When I say shorts, I'm talking about the like this is how the market moves when it's short. It's like this. It's not gonna go back that much, and then when it go, it's like boom, 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 going down. That's shorting to me, right? Short in the market is completely different to like longing, right? Longing like takes a while. Short should be sudden movement, right? In price. When if we retrace, right, we took all this liquidity, now we retrace to something logical, and then boom, sudden price action movement, right? Down. This is how shorts work. This is why I like shorting. And this to me is of course the indication of BS shorts, right? Yes, I did have all the liquidity markup. Like on Monday, we hit this. Anyone in black don't really matter that much. It's the colored ones, and this, right? So yes, of course I know where it's going. However, can I frame my risk and be comfortable with where I want to thingy? If I try to force it, probably, but I'm not bothered, right? There's easier markets to trade apparently. So yeah, these lows now next. So just gonna drag this, right? And then just see how we react if we're gonna even go there tomorrow. Hey, if we don't and we start ripping higher, I do not care. I'll let you sit out this week. I do not care, right? Like I killed it this week. If this week it's gonna move like garbage, hey, I'm not involved. That's what I'm saying. And if I find any opportunities, I'm actually like low key interested in like forex futures now because That gold trade was probably my easiest trade ever, right? And I top ticked it, and it's so easy, right? Like a market that I never traded, and I entered on the lowest leverage, and it was like 1K plus per account, like for when it was up for. It's wild. Um, but yeah, so I might look at these forex or gold or whatever because, like I said in my review for gold, the way that it moves is brain dead. It's just one directional and it's at like London. So if you have the advantage to be at London, you got free trade really, right? You just need to understand what market is doing currently right now, and like I risked only 100, right? It was such a small trade, and it was perfect. Anyway, that's the market recap. Peace out.